r/ForeverAloneWomen. Sonic2Cool says, learn more about yourself, make new friends, laugh, find more about what you want in life. Nope. I hate posts like this. This is not reality if you're depressed and alone. Included photo. Shiplifting Asta says, yeah, I hate them too. I don't want to blame the people writing them, because technically this is all true and applicable for the vast majority. But at the same time it irks me that people just assume everyone's life is like this. It makes you feel even more alone, as if that was even possible. Delusional_delirium says, me too, posts like this are cheesy and purely cringe. I hate different motivational posts about being in our 20s as well. Yana3Rivers says, I'm currently approaching mid-20s. I haven't experienced any of this, except losing 2 of my pets in 3 years. The older cat lived to 20, she had cancer. The younger cat had sudden heart failure. The only learning I've done about myself is that my crippling anxiety and deep childhood trauma have ruined my life and personality beyond repair. I don't know if I will even live to see the end of my 20s. I have very little strength or willpower left. Paul and Emma Maid says, that post is so bad. It's just a list. There's not even a punchline or point to it. Hell, it even ends with, frick, etc. I don't understand why it was made. Probably just so people could give her attention and pretend she's deep and wise. Bear Complex 20 says, motivational posts like this that don't offer actual motivation just aggravate me. Mfao. Gilgamesh King Thumbing says, haha. What a bunch of lies. I only learned that my shit childhood and abusive parents ruined my life for good. I keep thinking back on my past. I'm past my mid-20s, and I do not see myself hitting 30. But I do cry a lot and stare at my ceiling because I wish to be dead. So Clitoris Rex says, this is only if you're moderately attractive and extroverted though. r/ForeverAloneWomen. Virga Disaster says, experience with failed Aura dates? I just saw a TikTok of some who had a date and was asked about previous relationships, and he was just be honest and said I never had one before. He was ghosted afterwards and read on Hinge that she changed one of her prompts. What is your most irrational fear? Being someone's first girlfriend. I had a failed date last month too. He said he would invite me, that I shouldn't be worried about my physical appearance, thinks can talk with me about anything, and is so excited to finally meet me, and would be fine to just be friends even. From the start, I felt like he wasn't really interested in me, he was really reserved, and I mainly initiate the conversation. We went for a drink, and paid it myself. I even asked, he immediately said split. I was actually quite nervous and acted a bit weirdly because of that the whole time. 2 days after the date he sent me a short message that he doesn't feel the connection he was hoping for. I replied with a larger text and explained my behavior and that I noticed the disinterest immediately and that I think we aren't matching romantically either. He replied very short again that I shouldn't beat myself up about it, but is glad we got similar impressions. I just wanted to reflect this whole thing, especially cause I needed some clarification and closure, that's all. I noticed how this guy just wanted to get rid of me as soon as possible, but probably felt a little bad. At least, after how he presented himself online, I was seriously disappointed that he can't even properly communicate with me anymore, cause we sending each other long texts before the date, like the tone changed so drastically and just because of my physical appearance and first impression. A few days later I read in his dating profile that he changed his pronouns from he/him straight men to she/he/they genosexual demiman, whatever that even means. I interpret/speculate this in many ways and all are actually just bad and even a bit ridiculous. I'm seriously done with any leftist woke men. They seem to be even worse and more shallow than anyone else, despite the fact that they present themselves in such a good and tolerant light. This TikTok just reminded me of my date, and I was wondering what date experiences you guys. Nice says he changed his pronouns from he/him straight men to she/he/they ginosexual demi-men. At some point they have to be trolling. I refuse to believe anyone sincerely typed that they're a ginosexual demi-man and thought yeah, it makes sense. I'm not American nor a native English speaker, and it just reads like a big pile of bullshit to me. Or like a list of Pokemon. I'm seriously done with any leftist woke men. They seem to be even worse and more shallow than anyone else, despite the fact that they present themselves in such a good and tolerant light. Personally, I'm wary of people who present themselves as virtuous. They're one of the good guys, you know. They're feminists, even, but only with women they want to. Frick, don't ask them to tell their buddy to stop harassing women at a bar. Men I know who are good guys do not advertise it. You just get to know them, and you can see that they're good people. They're nice to their GF or wife, they're nice even to women they don't want to bang. Me, they're good fathers, they're solid friends, they're overall well-rounded people with good character. What they don't have is their virtues plastered all over their Tinder bio, trying to get some good guy metal and to leverage their perceived wokeness into access to sex. Sweaty Function 4473 says, I've had way too many failed dates. Basically all of them. I think the worst ones have been the ones where the idiot thinks I'm only good enough to breadcrumb until someone else comes along. At least some of the other guys have just cut it off immediately after the first date and not lead me on. Thinking back now to all of them, there were significant signs when they started to feel lukewarm about me or just noticed it right away when I met them. I hate all the woke guys as well, but luckily I've been pretty good at filtering them out. It's an instant turn off for me, and it comes through in their messaging style. I have gone out with a couple guys who acted like total experts on all fields of life, and I was just a silly thing to them when they realized I didn't fulfill their idea of me / not attractive enough or something. They just become super obnoxious. It's Thoshiana says, I saw the same TikTok, and it broke my heart. Even though I have dated a bit in HS, I haven't been in a relationship since, not by choice, and I feel like the fact that I've been single for my entire adult life is just another item on the long list of why no one will ever want me. As for the person you dated coming out, I'm not sure if that necessarily had anything to do with you. I've never heard of someone coming out as NB in response to a bad date, and that would be extremely bizarre if that was the case. It does suck that they were such a dick to you on the date, though. Companula Patula says, I actually try my best to forget about all the failed dates I've had. There's been so many of them. There's practically never been anything but them. It's a massive trauma. I experienced a few failed dates just recently as well. And I don't understand why I keep doing this to myself. Continue trying to date. It's nothing but self-harm at this point. I've had multiple first dates during which it became obvious from the start the guy was disappointed in seeing what I looked like IRL. Most of them proceeded to ghost or reject me immediately. A few others dragged it on to second and third dates out of cowardice, but acted obviously disinterested throughout. In hindsight, I wish I could forget. Depression must have given me some sort of brain damage, because my long-term memory is shit, and I can hardly recall anything that has happened in my life. But of r/ForeverAloneWomen. Number 202 says, looked at my competition on a dating app and got seriously bummed out. Have you ever tried it? I hate using the term competition, but I don't know what else to call it. I'm in my 20s and signed up for Hinge earlier this year. Recently I got the idea to change my gender to male on the app to see what the women in my area were like and get picture ideas for my profile. Maybe that sounds odd, but it was honestly quite illuminating. Most of these women had pictures with their friends, gym photos, swimsuit photos. Photos showing off their assets in skimpy clothes. I'm not trying to be a pick-me whatsoever. I'm not judging them for doing that. What I'm doing though is realizing how weird I seem. I kept swiping through profiles and it was tough to find one like mine. Most of my pictures are of me, by myself. I don't have trendy clothes. I don't have party pictures. I seem so boring and asexual in comparison to them. I thought I was average, but the beauty standards are out of control now. Why would any man swipe right on me when they could have an Instagram model? The most hilarious part though is that a lot of these women probably don't even reply to guys on there. I don't recommend doing what I did because it will probably bum you out too. Dumb guys on Reddit act like women have it so easy when it comes to dating. Attractive women do. It's much harder when you don't fit there. Green Venus 7 says, I don't know if Hinge does this too, but I know Tinder has fake profiles of incredibly attractive women to make men more willing to spend money to stand out. Where I Afternoon says, I don't do it on dating apps, but I've seen it on other social media such as IG or Twitter. This girl's are skinny, have doll-like faces, blue or green eyes and clear skin, no cellulite or stretch marks on their bikini pics, smooth assets. I don't think I'm hideous, just below average, but I look so very frumpy, even when groomed, next to these natural supermodels. Cinnamon Hostural says, yeah, I understand what you mean. For example, I always feel bad when I hear people say they are friendless, but then their social media shows the exact opposite. Going out on vacations, going to parties / clubs / concerts, lots of social gatherings. I just don't get it. I try to find someone like me, but it's seemingly impossible because people keep lying about their actual lifestyle. Malona says, yeah, I've checked it out before. I don't really think it's much to worry about. The extremely attractive ones are clearly fake and the ones that don't have great angles, poses, and filters. People who are extremely attractive and model material would opt for more elite dating apps. Think about how many attractive women you see in real life at a bar versus what you see in the app. I've heard at least one catfish story from every person who has used any dating app for longer than a few months. Not that there aren't attractive people on there, just that what you see is probably not an accurate representation of the current dating pool. So don't get discouraged. Ugly and Dick Now at 1234 says, there probably is a market for modest looking humble women who aren't superficial and high maintenance, as long as you are not ugly like me. Shiplifting Asta says, there are definitely guys out there who prefer more modest girls who aren't into partying etc. But I understand it's still tough when you see what you're up against on dating apps. I've never used one myself, only seen it secondhand through my friends using them, but the idea has never appealed to me. The idea of trying to advertise myself makes me feel a bit ill. Feels too much like a business transaction, where I have to make myself as appealing as possible to attract buyers. I know it isn't that deep and some people have no other way of making new connections, so I'm not judging, it's just not something I ever see myself doing. I also understand your post in the sense that I think I'd feel exactly the same way, and it would only damage my self-esteem. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.